Howdy folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with another Murders at Karlov Manor draft. Again, sorry about yesterday, and sorry about today. I'm starting an hour and a half late, but we're working on it. I'm either gonna try and fix my schedule, for either fix my schedule to be in line with what's been working, or try and update the schedule to make it work with wherever my, uh, body and brain are at right now. We're figuring it out, but we're here today and we're excited. Um, and my goodness, I don't do it for one day and I seem to forget how to get to the limited. There we go. That wasn't so tough now, was it? All right. I think we only need to do around 12 more of these at the current rate, which I'm enjoying the set, but definitely hitting that point where it's like, just want to get the cards and move on to some other stuff. Some other limited would be nice. If you are watching this within a relatively decent amount of time of the date of airing, which is 3/15, the Ides of March, remember, there's a free card style in the store for Homicide Investigator, which also contains a redeemable code, Impeccable, for 500 experience. Tolsimir Midnight's Light. Lifelink 3/2. When enters the battlefield, create a Voja Fenstalker, 5/5 green and white wolf token with trample. Whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Tolsimir attack this combat, target creature an opponent controls blocks that wolf this combat if able. So 5 mana for 8/7 of power, 3 of which is lifelink, 5 of which is trample, and also you can force some blocks. That seems like a pretty good one. Puts us in white, which has treated me decently so far. I think I'm perfectly happy to take that and try and pick up some Sumala Sentries and do some interesting stuff. Hopefully. Alright, following this up with Case of the Pilfered Proof, which is not as good as we would like it to be. Defenestrated Phantom, I like a fair bit, so we'll reserve that. Not super excited by the green, so if we weren't kind of tending towards white because we want to play this rare, what else out of this pack might we consider taking? Suspicious Detonation is very good. Expedited Inheritance is not, I think, very good in limited, but it's still an interesting card. Dramatic Accusation is usually fine removal as well. Slimy Dual Leech can do some work, but I do think we're going with the Defenestrated Phantom because that's fitting well with that first thing we took, and overall a very good card. Interesting. Love showing us some Mistway Spies today. I do see the Loxodon Eavesdropper as something I'm going to be very interested in. I think that's a very solid green card. Sanitation Automaton, I do also like as a good curve filler. On the Job can be decent. We're going wide. Granite Witness, I think, is absolutely splashable. Or not even splashable, but playing it off color. However, it does get a little more awkward, right? But Tolsimir could very easily be like a green splash, however, I like the Eavesdropper. Another Case of Pilfered Proof. There is a Lightning Helix. I don't know if we've seen Great Red going around, but Helix is quite good. And like if we did get some good red, I would be happy to ditch the Eavesdropper and go Boros and just like splash Tolsimir. Crime Stopper Sprite, also very decent if we wanted to go for more like blue-white detectives. Crowd Control Warden, I think, is also a very good card, but I think we can typically see that come around later. However, probably didn't want to take the Helix there with this follow-up. I was just a little concerned since we weren't seeing a huge amount of good green. I mean, it's early in the draft. But Case of the Trampled Garden, I think, is fantastic. May not take two like I did the other day, but I do think at least one is great, and I will happily take a Topiary Panther as some more top end. We would love to see some more good low drops, but interesting. So upgrading tokens, can see why they would try and fit that in this set. Relive the past, I don't think is going to be our jam today. Don't think it really is any day. 7 mana is just a big ask. Could be they went this way, but I think Due Diligence is going to do more work in the types of decks we're looking at. There's another Crowd Control Warden and another Slime Against Humanity. However, I think a Killer Among Us is going to give more value. Okay, green is definitely a good call if a get a leg up is going to make it around. If that's going to wheel the whole table, I think it's good that we're in green. White, I do really want to be in. It does not seem like the world wants us to be in it, but we'll take a decent bit of removal in blue. Maybe we go more like Simic Doppelgang. Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to Tolsimir, but depends on what we get past, right? Aftermath Analyst is a perfectly serviceable 2-drop, although we would really like something that's not self-mill when we don't have a lot of collect evidence and such in these colors. Well, that right there seems like a compelling reason to probably be more green-blue. Kellan is just fantastic. Lots of value in a very small package. Not a joke about being a fairy. All the respect. Buried in the Garden is also very strong, but I think I'd like to take the Kellan and keep an eye out for maybe some good blue or some stuff that would let us fix if we aren't getting past more good white. Pyrotechnic Performer, I do enjoy a fair bit. Okay. Bubble Smuggler is a pretty decent 2-drop. I don't want to super commit to blue until I see a little more out of this pack. It's just, we have not been getting good white coming around. Let's take a Topiary Panther. It helps us with fixing. Sample Collector is a reasonable 3-drop, but sure, let's take the Sample Collector. I was like, Sanitation Automaton, another good 2-drop. But we also can use some 3-drops at the present moment. Cryptex, really? I don't think that's what we want to be doing. We will take a Nervous Gardener, that's more fixing. Seasoned Consultant would also actually be quite good. Actually, yeah, let's take the Seasoned Consultant here for now. I think we can find another Nervous Gardener. The green has been coming around fairly well. The white has not. Escape Tunnel is some fixing that can also potentially help sneak through something else. Sure, we'll take a fixing land. Not on my watch. I actually really like his removal spell. I don't think it's the best one there is, but it's done some fantastic work for me. Greystone Strider is fixing that blocks morphs. We could take it, but I do think I like a Museum Night Watch here. It helps flesh out our white, makes it a little deeper, so I feel better. And I'm totally fine with Kellan being a splash, especially with double Topiary Panther. Living Conundrum, we've seen some funny stuff out of Saffron Olive recently with doing a hard lock in Standard. Take Sanctuary Wall. Again, I think that's another one you probably don't want to play most of the time, but if we need 2-drops, it blocks and it taps. So there are worse things to do in the world. Dun dun dun. So yeah, I think looking at this, we've got some decent power level. Um, I think most of what I'm looking for is just a bit more in the 2 and 3 slot that we're happy to be playing in the 2 and 3 slot. Like, Fenestrated Phantom is a morph, or sorry, disguise, so that we can do that, but we're not like super loaded up on those. Airtight Alibi. Ooh, Outrageous Robbery. I do love that, but not what we're geared for right now. We could take a second season consultant, which I would be very happy with, but I do think Inside Source provides a lot more value. It comes with an extra body, and it can help pump up some of our other creatures, although we don't have as many detectives in this color pair. Got enough that I think it's worthwhile. Assassin's Trophy, good card that I never feel comfortable playing. Look, I don't want to give them land, right? I know that is the incorrect way to look at the card, but that is often a wall I run into with it. Shard of Broken Glass, Self-Mill, right from SOI, Shadows of Innistrad. However, let's go with the Sample Collector number 2, a decent 2-drop that can kill a disguised creature and also give some additional value. Here, I think we'll highlight that Phantom. Intrude on the Mind has actually done surprisingly well for us. We've gotten it in more drafts than I would expect, but again, obviously not going to pivot in pack 3. Just pointing it out as something interesting. We probably don't run the second Defenestrated Phantom, but I do like it to keep it in mind. Doorkeeper Thrall. Could be fun, but we do have a couple of ETBs. I think pretty much every deck in this format does, so I don't know when you're running it, but interesting card. The Flash, I think, is going to be very important for constructed play over like Hushbringer and whatnot. So, cool card, but we just take the solid 2-drop that doesn't shut off some of our big splashy bombs. Museum Nightwatch number 2, I think, is totally reasonable, and it's not too bad for our curve. We can run it out on turn 3 if needs be. Ooh, okay. Hedge Whisper can do some very good work. I don't think we want another Topiary Panther. The Hazda Vigilante, I don't think is going to do for us what it can do for like the black-white deck. Vengeful Creeper does a lot of work for me, but I think let's go with the Hedge Whisperer. It can do some very powerful late game stuff, and I mean, yeah, that's most of it. It blocks early. It can turn our flood into something that's not as bad. Make your move. I've had be fairly good removal. We are actually very removal light, so I do think I will take it. Killer Among Us number 2, I think, is actually also a fantastic pickup. That card brings a lot of value to the table. Rebel Belt Maverick, I don't think I want to run here. We're at a point where we need to make one cut, which I am happy about. Pick your poison. I do often find if I am waffling a little bit early on, double slime against humanity. I don't know, I find that I have not dealt with play boosters and whatnot before. I find that the end of the draft comes a bit sooner than I expect. So while the card quality seems to be a lot higher with the higher incidence of rares and whatnot, and I mean, every card in this set has extra text on it. But I don't know, it's if I waffle about early, I usually feel a little pinched trying to make playables. But here, okay. So, make your move. I am glad that we have, even if it's a little awkward, but when we've got a combat trick and one decent but very conditional removal spell, like having the extra. I think our 5 slot is very good and balmy. I think it is probably just cutting a defenestrated phantom so that we're not quite so top heavy. Case of the Trampled Garden is fantastic. I would probably call this like a rare level uncommon. Powerful stuff in the 4 slot. We do have to stretch a little to make the Kellan work, but I don't think it's too terrible. Actually, I think we should probably go up a forest so that the Topiary Panthers, we can feel pretty confident we'll be able to, it's easier to have green and then fetch white or blue rather than the other way around. And yeah, so we've got double Topiary Panther and Escape Tunnel. I think that's probably enough to splash Kellan. Yeah, we would have loved the Nervous Gardener. I'm honestly very surprised we didn't see it come back around, but yeah, we'll take the Aftermath Analyst. It blocks. Yeah, okay. I think we've got a deck that has a lot of. I think it can pack a big punch. We will have to see, though. First time I've actually seen Tolsimir in the, 20 odd drafts, so should be fun. All right, Jagaroni. I hear Jaga and I think like Jaga Silk Tea, so I don't know what that indicates, but pepperoni, I guess. All right. Seasoned Consultant and make your move. This is basically a mult of 5, but I think I will keep it. We have more green sources than we do white. And we've got, I mean, this is some action, plus we've got some bonus stuff if we draw, 1 in 4 cards of our deck. Actually, the uh, Evolving Wilds also works, so yeah, a little bit better than 1 in 4 to draw a green source. We don't even need double green, do we? Well, this is certainly making me look like a goof. I don't think we not on my watch a Snarling Gorehound, but maybe. Play some sort of ridiculous Abzan enchantment that I don't think exists in this set, please. Alrighty. Yeesh. Well, this is not how you want to be playing it, but I think we have to do something. This forces them to have a removal spell, like not on my watch, which I think is bad enough that most folks aren't playing. Is sad to. Oh, Makeshift Binding does also work. Alright. Could really use that green source. Otherwise, we are in for a rough time. Okay. Well, I guess we can make your move the Makeshift Binding. It's not exactly a big got 'em, though. Could also not on my watch the face down card, which I actually kind of like. Because they can't flip it over into something that's not attacking, so they might flip it up and get some value off of it, but okay, we got a Crocodile. Sick. And Museum Night Watch is not a bad thing to play out. But man, this menace, it's getting through, doing work. We draw a green source and Killer Among Us, and they don't do anything. I think we've got a chance. It's a vein ripper, vein ripper. Well, we Aftermath Analyst. Okay, I'm actually totally fine milling most of those things. We aren't going to be getting lands back, so we destroy the Vein Ripper, and we will lose 2 off of it, sacrificing the Analyst. But at least we don't... Oh, actually, oh, right, 4, because whenever it dies as well. Jeebus. But we live to fight another day, and then they play a reanimation spell, and we cry. Okay. 3/2. Killer Among Us. Make 3 1/1s. The human is the killer. Because humans, it is in their nature. We are horrible, murdery beings. Dun dun dun. So hey, get a leg up, suddenly looking a lot better. Why are you tapping like that? What? Why do you need double black? Right? I mean, that's leaving up double black, I imagine. Faerie Snoop? I don't know. I don't know what that is. I have questions. What are you? Aha, the unplayable Mr. Kellan. Well, I think we attack with our 4/4 and the 3/2 that makes a 2/2 if it dies. And we've got a get a leg up in case they get funny. No funny business, please. So, fairly certain they know what this is. Or that they know it's a 4/4. Do you have a response? Ooh. I do think I get a leg up here. We will lose the Museum Night Watch, I assume, but I think 4/4 is pretty solid. It's like, does it get reach? No, this gives it reach. Because that would be such a weird... Ah, yes, this aggressive spell will give it reach until end of turn. Are they going to kill the merfolk so that they can hit in with the Gorehound? Interesting. So that 1 damage is more valuable to them. I guess this only downgrades it to a 2/2, but I don't know. Feels like something you would want to get rid of. Okay, so they got rid of it anyway. But that uses a removal spell that doesn't hit a land, eventually. And this is still a race that we win, currently. Okay, Forest is actually pretty nice. I do think we attack with both. No. 3 damage, and then we leave back Hedge Whisperer for now. That way we can double block. I think that killing that or preventing that is of more worth to us, at least for the time being. Okay, what do you have in hand? Well, that's spooky. Okay, milling a Rubble Belt Maverick. So this could be anything. Probably Hellion? Question mark, maybe? Not Hellion. I will chump with the Goblin if needs be. No, we can survive 2 this turn because we don't know what this is and we do want to make the 5/5. We can take 2. Okay. We can exile Not on My Watch and Sanitation Automaton. And I think we attack with just the 5/5 this turn. Because there are a lot of things that could kill us from this position if we don't have a lot of blockers. But 5 would kill them in 2 swings. Okay, what do they flip face up? Oh no! Oh, that hurts. I think that's game. Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Damn. And Glintweaver. Yeah, okay. Well, see, we were correct about needing blockers. I do think that was a correct attack. I think that was just highly unfortunate. We're just dead. All right. Considering that we had a very, very awkward start, I think that's fine. Um, all right. Run it back. Opponent flooded, but got something that rewards it. Demonic Pooper. Ooh. That would be an unfortunate affliction. Really? Ag- Why this happened 2 days ago and it's happening again today where jeez, okay. We've got a sanitation automaton. I think we keep it. I don't think our deck is going to be kinder to us on the mole. So help me. No, not get a leg up. We don't even have the green to cast it. So see, that let us dig a card deeper. Hmm. I think that getting a green source and taking the turn off is probably better than running out due diligence for 2 extra damage. Okay. We might do it this next turn, depending on what we draw, so that, no, I always don't know why I want to go to the right option. Also, these are forests? I think it's gorgeous art, I just think it's, tough to visually process as being a green card. Here, I do think pitching the Panther for the blue source is reasonable, but especially since that does leave up Not on My Watch if they flip it up. We'll attack for 2. Yeah, I assume you don't trade. We could Not on my watch our own thing, so we will just pass. Look, we're doing nothing. Case of the Trampled Garden. So I think instead of the Panther pitching, we are going to not on my watch and pay for ward. Draw a green source. Awesome. So yeah, I think we just Killer Among Us. Get that cooking. Goblin this time. Yeah, like the difference between the forest and the island is, I would say, relatively negligible. Well, there's 6. Is Panther better than Kellan? I think is a good question. But what is going to happen this turn is Due Diligence is going to go on Sanitation Automaton. It's going to buff the Goblin this turn. And both are going to attack. I think you do take that trade, but I think they don't take the trade otherwise. And, you know, oh, but we don't actually get to grab it out this turn, so yeah, we will pass the turn. Let's see what they do before we make the decision of Kellan or Panther. Reach. And tapping that down. I think Panther is going to do more for us. And of course, we draw the island. So, good thing we didn't. Out comes the Panther. No attacks. Oh, extra life. Cool. Had some friends who did that a while back. We tried to pull together a thing, but lives got too busy, unfortunately. Private Eye. Okay. Don't like how close this Case of the Trampled Garden is to getting where it needs to be. Oh, that's funny. So we can Killer Among Us, and we can actually name one of the tokens that we've already got down, right? I think we go with Merfolk. Ooh, and we'll be able to Kellan to investigate. Neat, neat. Attack with both. They've got to make some blocks here. Or they just concede. Okay. Nice, nice. I think that was a very good start by them. It's just a good thing that we had removal for the morph, the face down creature. It will forever be a morph in my heart. But that's incorrect because they're mechanically different. Can't just say it, Johan. Um, but yeah, so the wow, words. Why will words not process? I think that Case of the Trampled Garden start was fantastic, but yeah, just because we actually did have a 2-drop piece of removal to shut it down, that was very important because otherwise they just get to roll over. Did I even check what their disguise creature was? I didn't, did I? Wow, that was silly. We're on the draw. We've got a 2-drop that helps us filter one and digs us deep. We'll try it. This might be a huge mistake, but I think it's a keepable hand. I think it's a debatably keepable hand. But we have both of our colors. Uh-oh. Opponent also has both of it. Well, they might have even more. Okay, that is a land. We would love an untapped source to keep up our curve. We will keep it. This might end up fetching a white source for us for Tolsimir. I will take the block, even though our sample collector could have blocked it more handily. I will take that opportunity when presented. I think we do sample collector. It's in theory a free block, so for 4 mana, what do they flip up? Could be Midnight Guard. I think it's actually likely a Midnight Guard with an attack like that. Okay. So we can do Eavesdropper, or we've got the white source. So I think what we actually do is we inside source, which we're a lot more willing to block with that token, so perhaps that would have been smarter. This will go fetch a blue source, and the next turn we Tolsimir. We'll block there and there. This is going to be very funny if this... Oh, look, a Museum Night Watch. If this one is 2, we're a little sad, but... Okay. If they want to burn a combat spell on that, I think we are A-okay. But look at me having the read on it. Look at me having the read. It's like, well, why would you block like that? Because then you knew I wouldn't block disguised creatures, but that wasn't true. I wouldn't block with one that you were attacking with so brazenly. It's different. Is that necessarily good strategy? Probably not. But did it pan out and do I feel justified? Very. Okay, so they missed a land drop, and now we've got Tolsimir and Voja. No attacks. Next turn we might do Diligence. Try and get back some big life points that they have to double block to kill. Wait. Are they going to do... They're going to do it on the wolf. I mean, we don't have a way to flicker, but I'd much rather have the lifelink here. But we probably should use our mana more efficiently. I mean, we get 3 life back. I think we attack with this since I don't think we're blocking. And then we run out some 1/1s that can grow. Merfolk this time. We deal 4, go up to 15. Don't think we block the disguised creature, but I will double block the detective token. Makeshift binding on Tolsimir. Okay. Sucks, but actually, if we draw make a move, that's really good because then we get Voja back. That's... If we get that, I am going to feel very good. No, unfortunately. However, I do think a second make your move is totally fine. I'm also going to name Merfolk, because that would let us make a 7/7. If needs be. I don't think we need to, so we'll just make a 4/4. Oh, we really want that make your move. Okay. If they attack with the disguised creature, they're not able to flip it up this turn, so absolutely. What are you? Crowd control warden. Ooh, okay. Glad we hit that. And then we can turn that into a 7/7. And then run out the Topiary Panther. I should have waited until they chose whether to block or not, but I don't mind. So, misplay, but I think worked out how it needed to anyway. Yeah. They might have the White Wrath. That is a distinct possibility, but I think rebuilding with Loxodon Eavesdropper is still totally fine. And I'd rather apply more pressure. Griffknot Tracker, okay. And then this next turn we can do Diligence, loading up the Panther, and then also making the 7/7 Vigilant, I think. I think that's the move. Because then that just applies a huge amount of pressure. They only have one untapped mana. Okay. Would have loved to free Tolsimir and Voja from the makeshift binding. I think that would have been hilarious, but alas and alack. Still 2 removal spells, which I think is quite good. Behind the facade of religious hierarchy, look, man, I if that's a facade that the Orzhov are putting on, it's a real bad one. Like, their church seems to be a church of money. So, yeah, Extrapolator. Diamonds? We're not that good. Ooh, all 3 colors. No 2-drop, but honestly, I will keep the decent color spread. We do have a 3-drop. We have 2 3-drops. Okay. Neighborhood Guardian. Okay. Little nerve-wracking. Oh, there's the 2-drop. Here, I think we run out Inside Source. That is a mighty fine 2-drop. Jeskai. Okay, Jeskai versus Bant. We share 2 colors. Make it a 3/3. We do not trade. We Sanitation Automaton and prepare to get them with Get a Leg Up. Yep, we will keep the white source. We will keep the land is really what we're keeping there. Do not block. Okay. Because Get a Leg Up, unfortunately, does not untap. Otherwise, it would have been fun to Inside Source. Okay. 1/1 triggers. Okay. Thing is, I think we do kill the Neighborhood Watch here. I think that's more valuable to us. We've got ways to handle the flyer, but the extra point of power and toughness each turn can kind of mess us up. I think I attack with both. They might trade the Thopter for the 2/1. I'm kind of okay with that. Alright. That's not the best, but that was just going to be an annoying flyer that we were going to have more trouble with, because like not on my watch deals with the Market Watch Phantom, most likely. We would love another land for Killer Among Us. Ooh, Detective Satchel could be an issue. I think we do diligence here. And I think you probably trade both of these for the 5/4. But we'll see. I don't think you take 9. They take 9. Okay. Yes, they will be able to make some little 1/1 chump blockers. Whoa, so they're 5 color. Niv miss it? I should have been paying a bit more attention. Okay. That sucks, but no. No, they do get the token off of that. Unfortunate. That actually really blows. Um, no attacks. That really, what's the technical term? Huffs chunks? Okay, and start the Thopter Parade. Guess if we not on my watch it, at the very least, they don't get the token. But, ouch. Okay, disguisey boy. No blocks. Thop, thop, thop. Case of the Trampled Garden is interesting. But I think ultimately career limiting. I think what we do is probably Aftermath Analyst and not on my watch. We attack with the Sample Collector alone. It will pump itself up. They probably block with the 3/3 and make a 2/2. I imagine that's the case. Yep. Coerce to Kill. Very, very powerful card if you can fit it. And then we Aftermath Analyst, which gives us another blocker. Mill the Kellan, okay. Granite Witness taps something down. Granite Witness, we cannot on my watch. And then we try and make some chumps to survive. I guess we don't need to chump per se, but we're not in a good way. This does say specifically sacrifice an artifact, so it's not if one's gone to the graveyard in general. I don't think we can get through their wall. Okay. We block the 3/2, and we not on my watch the other 3/2. We will take 4. Ooh, put it on the gargoyle. Put it on the witness. Okay. Fair enough. You already know it's gonna die. Don't have alibi. Ah, but okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Still think we needed to do that. And now they've got at least 3 damage. Nope, they've got enough in the air. We are simply dead, but let's see if they know it. Do you make the Thopter play something else that triggers your flyer? They're being very dramatic about it. Okay. They see the line. I expected them to, but all right. Come on, one more win. Kurt. Well, hopefully they aren't too curt with me. Boom, crash. 2-drop. Some removal, a decent 5-drop. We've got 2 colors. I think this is keepable. It's kludgy, but it has things to do, places to be. Ah, that's a good 3-drop. Ah, little sad to have milled our second killer among us, but we can make do with one. Okay, we block. We run out Case of the Trampled Garden. And I think I guess we attack? I mean, we could potentially kill this, but I think we're winning the race, and I'm not super worried about it. Especially if we get to due diligence down the line. We might hold back this upcoming turn, but we also might just do due diligence. However, I think we probably disguise out the Defenestrated Phantom and just don't attack. Maybe it was better to hold back because then it forces them to either sack it or it makes them probably not play something proactive that turn. So here their plan is to get 2 life off of it. I don't think, unless they like double Felonious Rage. Or maybe they do sacrifice. Interesting. Okay. Strange. However, we can either Museum Night Watch or Due Diligence here. And and that will trigger Case of the Trampled Garden end of turn. I think we attack with both. I think we Museum Night Watch. Hope they don't have shock. They don't. Awesome. And then next turn we can Due Diligence or flip up the Phantom. Rebel Belt Braggart. Escape tunnel, okay. So this will be due diligence on the museum night watch, pumping up the aftermath analyst, because the analyst can get big enough by us putting one counter on it. Yep, you 100% block there. But I think you don't block if we put the aura over here. Cornered Crook. They don't have anything to sacrifice, but we will be able to destroy it with Make Your Move, perhaps. I think this grabs a blue, because I don't think we are in desperate need of our other colors. So we can flip this up so it's flying, or we can just make sure that this is not an issue. I think I prefer to make sure this is not an issue. It's less mana efficient, but I'm less worried about them simply killing us this next turn that way. And we might leave back our disguised creature so that we can flip it up and try and kill their Sanguine Savior. Okay. Good thing we didn't try and do that this turn. Does mean not playing out anything else this turn and could very easily leave us kind of screwed. But yeah, I think we try it. Griff not tracker. Okay, I like that. Griff not tracker means less likely to have some sort of combat spell. This could be toxin analysis. This is going to be toxin analysis, and we're going to cry. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss? No! Really? No? Okay. Okay. Detective incoming. Okay, you still take one. Then Killer Among Us. And our little goblin gremlin. So now you deadly cover up, and we've got ways to rebuild. Dun dun dun. Okay. Totally fine with you removing a token that we've built up a little. Gravestone Strider. So if we attack with everything, they need to block with the Griffknot tracker, because they will be dead otherwise, because we can give this trample. And then they're also guessing at which token it is. So we have a pretty good shot at lethal here. They need to guessed wrong twice. Oh my god, they guessed wrong twice. Oh, I'm sorry, opponent. That's hidden information is tough with stuff on the field. Um, in the hands, like, I don't know. I feel used to losing to that, right? Where you're guessing what your opponent's doing based on that. And I suppose the stuff on the field isn't too different. That's why I enjoy trying to guess their disguise creatures and whatnot. Um, I don't know, it feels somehow worse when it's something that they've played. I'm so sorry, I think I whistled there for a moment. It feels so much worse when you die because it's something that was on the field that was face down, or it was this hidden question that they had basically. Um, Interesting. I do think we keep this. We've got a 1-drop to shut some stuff down. The lack of white sources is concerning, but we've got 1-drop, 2-drop. This lets us okay, that's some fixing for white if we need it. But this is a 2-drop, lets us filter a little. But we can get a turn 4. Oh my god. Yo, okay. So that can fetch a white source for Tolsimir. And we can get a turn 4 Kellan. So I think we fetch a white, and then we play the blue next turn for Kellan, and then directly into Tolsimir. So this is sort of our waiting turn. We attack, since we still have a blocker. We escape tunnel, and then yeah, we'll cycle Topiary Panther. Okay. I mean, that is a scary curve. I don't know if that wins us the game, but it certainly makes the opponent have to think. So, forest and island. I'm feeling decent if they're cracking a clue. That does mean that they aren't feeling as much pressure. Bouncing the automaton. So they're digging. I don't know what for. This lets them make a clue. Okay. What are they digging for? Not. I always want to use the wrong one, and it can be really bad sometime. Also a white source. Okay, we are. No! Damn it! Played the revealed information. That was bad. All of our plans. Damn it. Well, okay, at least we got a land out of the way. Jesus. So this is the problem when you get into rhythms. Because I went, oh, we've got a revealed card in hand. You want to play to give them as little information as possible. That is not true. When doing so is actively detrimental. We still curve out with Voja, I think. God, that was stupid. We could have had a Kellan. A Kellan that attacked and killed their clue. Okay. Kill our Tolsimir. That's okay. Are we willing to trade the Goblin for Voja? And I think the answer is yes. But I suppose they are as well. So that's maybe not the best. Second Killer Among Us. That is rough. Goodness. Now, I think what we do, we will take a hit of 4, but we run out Kellan, we run out Seasoned Consultant. No attacks. Yep, they also have the double killer among us, and it hurts. If we had the Kellan, I think earlier, I think we would have been a little better off, but it is what it is. I think this still probably wrecks us. No blocks, because they can put on either one. Yep, you've got a 4/4. You've got a 4/4. On the right side, it doesn't get... So what I should have done is taken the hit and then been able to block with Voja in subsequent turns. I was just... Yeah, that was silly. Because it only gets... Right, the Death Touch is temporary. Damn it. Okay. So we've made some goofball plays. I think this might also be a not on my watch hold up turn. We attack with Kellan. We do not destroy our automaton for draw value. Bounce Kellan. Replay Kellan. And be ready to not on my watch their 4/4. Think is the game plan. We could have also, what I was thinking of doing was making a land of 5/5 and then holding it up, but I like pressuring them to use their clues. And the vigilance is nice. If it's airtight alibi, I'm going to be sad. Okay. Woo, we got the token! I think it is going to be a Topiary Panther. Nope. So they've dug down their 19. They haven't dug that much deeper than us, but that does account for the 4 cards versus 1 card in hand. Okay. So out of evidence to collect, or at least not enough. I think we attack with the Panther. And then I think that also means we attack with the Consultant. We could have done the Eavesdropper to crack the clue, but I think holding off on that is respectable. Okay. Quintuple block. I'm okay with. Eavesdropper. And there aren't a lot of wraths that just happen like that. So we'll make a forest. Because they've got green and blue, they do have access to 1 black or white, but that means they've been sitting on that land and the wrath. So I feel fairly confident in running the stuff out. They get to investigate. Double Killer Among Us does do quite a bit. We will not untap Hedge Whisper. I Okay. Whew. No tension there whatsoever. Definitely not. Okay. Just double checking. So this is we've got Tolsimir and Kellan. Let's just sort of, yeah. I don't know. I was just trying to think power wise, but that's what we've got, and I think they're both just very good, solid, efficient creatures. Which is, I think, a lot of what you want. And while, yeah, there has been a cost to playing Kellan, a little bit. There has been the game where we weren't able to play it. I think having that 3/4 Vigilance Flyer is what won us that last game in a lot of ways. I mean, the 3/4 Vigilance Flyer, I'm probably willing to pay like 5 for and still be pretty happy about it. And the fact that, like, we aren't making good use of the flexibility. Ooh, okay, number 400 some odd mythic might be the end for us. We fetch the white, and then turn 2, turn 3. Um, but yeah, like I think I would be willing to pay up to 5 for a 3/4 flyer and be pretty happy about it. I think that additionally, tacking on the ability to destroy opponent's artifacts to Trigun Predator or crack a clue for free, I think I would be still very happy to pay 5 mana for it. So the fact that it's 4 and also then has an adventure, I'm feeling fine. Watch, now we draw the planes and then we draw Kellan. Nope, okay. The Maverick. Always feels bad to ship off a creeper. In the context of Magic and specifically the Karlovmanor draft. Real life creepers, ship them off all you want. Gravestone Strider. But not like actual, not like we had with the Pride of Hulklade. Sample Collector, and we simply stare at each other. He's just looking at me menacingly. See, I don't need sound alerts. I just am my own sound alerts. I've absorbed too much of that culture. This is a patent lie. Are they almost mono green? If so, that's kind of rad. I know Museum Nightwatch, which we I think are okay attacking in with, even if they double block. It, you know, reduces the number of creatures they have. We might even attack with all 3, depending on what they play. Okay, so they are not mono green. That would have been funny. We might attack with everything just so that we can season consultant. Ooh, and we get to do Killer Among Us. So yeah, I think we run this all in. We don't need to cycle Panthers, which is nice. A Panthersicle sounds more like something that's a poor frozen cat. I think best, like, they could double block or triple block the Sample Collector, and we feel pretty bad, but then they're also taking 6. And we still get to kill something. Okay. I figured that 8 was also a very reasonable possibility, since I think it's very reasonable to assume that we have a combat trick. Killer Among Us. Applying the logic of the Sicilian, well, they are a good player, and therefore they know we'll choose Goblin Token. Actually, they know we'll choose Human Token, because that's one that works for folks. And because that I could have other in my deck. We're going to choose Goblin. Because Merfolk is the one you choose, because then you know that no, it's the one that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, base green, lots of splashes. Hey, their own Killer Among Us. Hey. Would love to draw land for Panther. We do not. This is sad. We can find a land for Panther. I don't think that's a great idea. We chose Goblin. And I think we attack with all those again. And we've got Not on My Watch to kill the thing they turn into a 4/4. Okay, they're making the triple block. They're making a very big block. This is fair. However, that does actually let us kill two things. No, it doesn't. Never mind. Yeah, so that is free. So, Nervous Gardener, make Goblin big. So, they're human, is what they've made. Because the only way that they don't block with the human is if it's not free, right? Because they were taking those other free blocks. We might cycle the Panther, actually, so that we can get the white source, so that we can guarantee Tolsimir. And guarantee the Panther next turn. I think that's actually fair. I hate doing it, but I think that's better than leaving it to random chance. Make them pop it first. Oh my, I didn't even process that they're at 6. We've been doing work. Okay. Does make it awkward for our Night Watch to attack that way. Oh, are they going to fight? Bite down on crime? Nice. Okay. That's good stabilization. Make sure it's the white. Yeah, I think that shuts down our ability to get in with what we've got on the board. Which sucks, but we have a pretty small board at the moment. Because even so, we attack with everything. We attack with 3 things. What happens is this gets chumped, this gets eaten, and this gets eaten. Which I don't think is worth it. I think one thing getting eaten and it being the token is fine. I don't think throwing away the Night Watch for no value. Because all we'd be doing is getting in for 1 damage and killing a token. Okay, Eavesdropper. Very nice. I feel like they will have a removal spell for the Panther, but I will try it. I think just the Panther. Block with everything? Okay. Combat trick. +3 in trample. Ooh. Okay. Archdruid's Charm. And it deals damage and a punch. Okay. Neat. I think we're still okay because we got rid of the thing that was really shutting down aggression. And I think we also run out the automaton. If it's a wrath, that sucks, but we'll have a clue, and this maximizes our chances to punch through, which I think is important. Panther, alright. Crack the clue. We want our combat trick. We do not get the combat trick. We do get Kellan, which can fly over their stuff. So we attack in with everything. They eat the eavesdropper. This gets eaten. And then this gets chumped, and these get through, or these trade. Oh man, that sucks, but I think it's okay. Because that gets the Kellan that much closer. Like, we do not have a clean answer to the Panther. And I think we need to not let it run roughshod over us. This is putting a lot on Kellan, but I think we are trying to throw stuff away. We're doing the mono red thing. We're burning the candle at both ends, trying to get stuff in. Interesting trading there. I think you. I mean, I guess it doesn't super matter, right? Holy shoot, we got in for 4. Okay. So now they need to top deck an answer. They also really can't afford to attack. This is spooky. Because, I mean, this is all... Okay. Whew. That was super spooky, but it does help effectively pin down their Panther so that it can really only be a blocker, because by doing that, we put their life total so low that even if they do have an answer to the Kellan, if they attack, we get through for 1, and that, it's... Yeah. Otherwise, they start chipping in with the Panther most likely, and we suddenly are on the back foot, even though they're at 6. 6 is a healthy enough life total that you can make it work if they have an answer for Kellan. And that also made sure that they only had 1 turn to answer Kellan rather than 2. So I think that was right, and it paid off. Create a food, but... Oh, interesting. That's a cool food piece that I was not aware of. Okay, we're into profit. Wow. Amise. Just trying to read that as like MC. Ooh. I like having the land, but these cards do not do anything on their own. This is not a hand that has castable things, essentially, so we mulligan. Fetch a blue, play a green, aftermath, play a white. Hope we get more. What are we pitching? Get a leg up? We pitch get a leg up. Because Tolsimir is going to do more work for us if we can get the white source. And we can Kellan's first ability to try and dig us out of stuff. If we draw a land, maybe we actually Kellan next turn. I like that it's not highlighted on an empty board. Because now that lets us ramp out. So that we can turn 3 Kellan, and then if we draw 1 more land, turn 4 Tolsimir, which would rock. And if not, we crack a clue and then either analyst or sample collector, depending on whether or not we get a land. Okay, they've got their own 4 mana powerful thing. Ooh, actually, we cracked the clue by attacking with Kellan. Duh. There's that extra benefit. And that's a turn 4 Tolsimir. Booyah. I mean, this does not necessarily win us the game, That's a scary Yaris. Other things have haste, but that feels good, and we follow up with a Killer Among Us, and we have something in the air against Gruul, which is a tough ask. I think this gets left back on blocks, or I think Voja does. Alternatively, we attack with Voja, and then we get to Tolsimir and get a leg up for some big surprises. I think is actually probably fine. Oh, nope. Oh, I was going to say that's way better. So they're using that to flip it up. Fair enough. We still got some damage in. Nervous Gardener. Face down and then turn it face up. So I was like, oh, why did they get the trigger? Because they accounted for it. Sample collector. I mean, we also might not want to get a leg up because we might be able to just kill them with Kellan and get a leg up. But I think gaining a bunch of life and trying to kill something big of theirs is probably also just very solid. Guess it depends on how they attack, right? Okay. So if we draw a land, we get to Killer Among Us for an extra 3, so then it's 7, so we're only 1 off. I think we block like so. They get to flip it face up. That's a big crowd control warden, but I think we can survive it. Okay. So we will not be attacking with Voja this turn. We do attack with Kellan still. They've got Get a Leg Up, we're sad. They don't. We Killer Among Us, which gives us some good chump blockers. They give everything trample, we're real sad, but merfolk. This has been a surprisingly close game. Yo, we got there. Wow, I'm surprised that we got there. They don't know that we've got the combat trick, but okay. I props to the opponent. That I think was a very close game, considering that we got a turn 3 Kellan, turn 4 Tolsimir. Okay, last game of the day, one way or the other. Efficient creatures, doing good work. Waiting, waiting, waiting. K minus. Or Kminus, but I'm assuming K minus. 2-drop, 3-drop, other 3-drop, sure thing. Our deck got to do the thing. We are happy either way at this point. I like those sleeves. Alright, Case of the Trampled Gardens in our deck. I think we can afford to ship away the forest for some more action. Inside source? Especially if we're going to draw more land like that. I think we will sample collector. Howdy, Cholera, how's it going? It's late for you. We are currently sitting at 6-2 with a green-white deck that's got Tolsimir, and we're splashing Kellan. Do we trade? I think we trade. So that they're less likely to... Oh no, wait, it does trigger mask anyway. Darn. Become a bit of a pariah in these parts. Not going out and doing much social these days. Oh, need to visit more often. Yeah, that's... In fairness, I have not been super up on my schedule recently, so not at all a worry. I've been keeping pretty well to the 2 p.m. one, but the 9 a.m. has been kicking my butt. We're working on it, though. Took a walk yesterday after a sort of short afternoon stream and sleeping through the magic one, and got sleep a little bit more back on track. Karlov Watchdog, alrighty. I'm not feeling optimistic for our 7-2, but I think a 6-3 is still quite good. Alright. Opponent thinking long and hard about whether or not they want to probably just burn cards off the top of their library. Guessing just didn't notice they had the trigger. So we can turn this face up. We can also Museum Night Watch and hold up Get a Leg Up. Or we can Seasoned Consultant and Case of the Trampled Garden, which I think is probably better. This will give itself +1/+1, but not until they have another creature. So I think we do it like this. This allows us to block there. We do not attack through. And then next turn we can Museum Night Watch, hold up, Get a Leg Up, hopefully trigger Case of the Trampled Garden. Now they burn it. Look at some cards. Rebel Belt, Braggart, Absolving Lamassu, and Galvanize. Ugh. I have not seen one of the Magicarena Hot Pocket packets. I have heard tell of them. I have not seen one. Yeah, that's... unfortunately I have not seen them. I don't go to stores a whole lot these days, mostly ordering stuff in. But yes, I have heard of them. They sound quite goofy. Mask Maker? No. So I think we run this out, we hold up Get a Leg Up, and we just try and survive this upcoming turn and see if we can turn the tide. I think that's tough. I mean, they are playing a Mask Maker, but Sanitation Automaton? Understandable. Have a nice day. Honestly, what the Hot Pockets remind me of, kind of conceptually, is way back in the day. I remember there were like, aw, destroying our Case of the Trampled Garden. I mean, we don't actually trigger it this turn, so that was kind of premature, but cool. But it reminds me an awful lot of... I think we attack here since we do have Get a Leg Up. It reminds me an awful lot of these like Transformers Lunchables. Just, it's brightly colored with something collectible to appeal to the kiddos. Pretty funny how the basic one was with Gideon about 3 years after he died. Yeah, oh god, it has been 3 years. It's been even longer, hasn't it? Because that was War of the Spark, and War of the Spark was 5 years ago, I want to say? No opponent? Opponent, please do things? Okay. I think we attack with everything. We get rid of Defenestrated Phantom. We put a counter here. Yeah, like, Opponent? I'm so deeply confused. Okay. Like, okay. I get holding back to block. I do. I genuinely do. Yeah, they are. They were running the pacifist route. They were happy to beat my face, but I concede to them in that they have much more successfully carried out the true meaning of Undertale than I have. I I hope they're okay. They were there, they were clicking through things, they conceded. I feel confused, but I guess we'll take it. A nice clean 7-2. Like, I don't feel totally terrible because I think we would have won that even if they were doing things. We had the combat trick, but that felt strange. Okay. Well, we had a lovely, mostly Selesnya with just a little splash of Bant today. And we went 7-2. We got to curve out with a turn 3 Kellan into a turn 4 Tolsimir. Feeling good, had some fun. We're back. But that is going to do it for Magic for today. I will be back in about 2 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific. Gotta play Confounding Conundrum now. That isn't that one of the ones that lets you there's something along those lines. It's the blue enchantment where you can't like play 2 lands in a turn. Could also do Perplexing Chimera. But yeah, so that will do it for me for Magic for today. I will be back in about 2 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific for still not entirely sure what. We finished up Monument Valley. I think I might be doing Baba Is You today. I might also be doing some Balatro, or I might go to Hollow Knight. Still, we're going to play it by ear, but I think Hollow Knight will probably be the next sort of big playthrough. We'll find out. But thank you for tuning in. It's appreciated as always. And if I don't see you again, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye.